What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. As we dive into this issue, we are picking up with The Flash issue number 7, and right now there's a lot of moving pieces. They have taken the Flash comic in a very sci-fi direction, but we're expanding the mythos of not only the Speed Force, but also Wally West, of all speedsters, of their place in the grand scheme of the huge universe, the different planes, the different dimensions, and everything else in between. Max Mercury and Impulse running through time, through dimensions, trying to get home safely. Not only this, but Wally West has gone missing, with Barry finally free coming out of this haze. He finds himself missing time, not knowing what happened to him or happened to Wally. He begins to investigate. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we're picking up with Max and Impulse. He is telling Impulse to keep running, not to stop, don't hold back no matter how tired you are. They are disconnected from the Speed Force. They have no idea how they're getting out of this situation. One thing Max Mercury does know is that the universe listens. The universe provides. And they got stuck here because Impulse was trying to get to Time Point, but he got lost. They ended up here in IC2. That is where Impulse found Max Mercury. As this looks like it is about to be the end, this is when the Linear Men show up, coming out of portals, blasting away at all of these monsters, saving the life of both Impulse and Max. As they jump into some of the portals and they disappear, we pick up with Barry Allen. And he's trying to figure out what the heck has been going on. One minute, he was mapping the multiverse. The next, he's waking up in Alaska, and he is covered in somebody else's blood. Not only that, but Wally West has been missing for 3 days. He has come to Linda for any kind of information, but as he talks to her, he recognizes that something is messing with their minds. All he has is gaps, dark thoughts. More than this, Linda is obviously not herself. When she mentions something about pipes, this gives Barry an idea of who might be messing with them. While he goes to investigate, we pick up with Max, Impulse, and this individual known as Inspector Pilgrim. Right now, they are in a pocket reality formed out of loop temporal waves. This is the Linear Bureau of Investigations Division. These guys are more or less time cops. Inspector Pilgrim can slide up and down his own timeline, kind of like a speedster in the 4th dimension. And while this used to be something that was complicated, he used to be able to visit anywhere he liked up to 200 years from the moment they are at. But now that is impossible. From the moment Impulse and Max Mercury left Earth, the next few weeks are full of time quakes, dimensional breakages, reality tears. The laws of physics begin to crumble. Something is murdering the future. Impulse recognizing that this is bad sci-fi logic. If something changes the timeline, it doesn't suddenly happen. Photos begin to fade, all of that stuff. There's no second layer of time to decide when the change comes into effect. It just always has been changing, but perspective is the missing ingredient. At the quantum level, outcomes are really contingent on observation. The story is defined by its audience. And so from the Pilgrim's perspective, he was able to travel backwards from the future to observe himself as a baby. But when he tries to slide the other way, he runs out of time. The most tragic of all of this is Time Point. Time Point is gone. The Speed Force is falling apart and reality along with it. The only question that remains is who is doing this? Who is responsible for the destruction of everything? Picking up with Barry. He has come for the Pied Piper. Hypnotic suggestion, missing memories, musical memorism. Only the Pied Piper fits this description. Enraged. It seems like nothing is going to be able to stop him until Mr. Terrific Terrific comes into the office. Using a canister in hand, he is able to put down Barry, the artifact that he recently collected. It appears to be anti-speedster technology, or at least having the ability to slow down a speedster. What Mr. Terrific is really here to let him know is that Pied Piper is working for him, that he hasn't been doing anything wrong. After hearing everything Mr. Terrific has to say, the one thing he does wonder is where is Wally? But not even Mr. Terrific can let him know where he went. This is when Mr. Terrific lets Barry in on what Wally has been able to do recently, gaining the ability to shift between layers of existence. Now, generally, they can chart his progress through the cosmological dimensions caused by interference patterns, what Hartley calls the Spectraverse. He believes that there could be anywhere from 10 to 26 of them, very discrete frequencies. But ever since the two of them ascended into the Speed Force, things have been a little different. As we pick back up with Inspector Pilgrim, he is showing them a whole display of speedsters and everything else in between, even having Blue Beetle, or in this case, it is Gold Beetle. It appears that they were all rescued. This is anyone with an active relationship to the Speed Force. But Max Mercury has to wonder, why are you showing us this? The moment before the Bureau had saved him from that empty future, he received a message, a burst of data. He got a message from the Archangels. Taking this data, he crunched the numbers. He checked it all out. And they have learned that reality is crumbling because speedsters keep using their powers. It doesn't take them long to figure out that this wasn't a rescue. They had been taken prisoner, trapped in this room, unable to use their powers to the fullest extent as they begin to get drained. They never stood a chance. We see Impulse and Max Mercury brought down and added to the collection of Inspector Pilgrim. They are doing this in the hopes to save everything, but Inspector Pilgrim has been fighting to keep the speedsters alive, to save reality without murdering every speedster there is. This is what picks us up with Wally West. He is waking up in the gallery, in that garden, and the garden is letting him know that that blade he was stabbed with, it remains entangled with him in ways that it doesn't even understand. That the wound reopens at the slightest of touches. And when he regained consciousness here in the gallery, his human mind trying to perceive an unimaginable being, before them is the statue of an Archangel. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Yet another great issue from the Flash series, really diving into what is going on with all them. We are now learning that Inspector Pilgrim is working with the Archangels. The Archangels, they are the ones that gave him the math to let him know speedsters are the cause to the universe's demise. That the more a speedster uses their abilities, the faster reality begins to crumble. We can only assume that Inspector Pilgrim was given bad math, that the Archangels have an overall goal of taking out speedsters completely, but it has nothing to do with reality collapsing. Something that I'm sure Wally West is soon going to learn, that the Archangels are the enemy. They are the biggest threat that they are going to be facing. This could be what the stillness is observing. One thing is for certain, there are much bigger things at play than speedsters, the Speed Force, Earth, and everything else in between. We are dealing with planes of existence far exceeding the capacity of the conscious human mind, that only someone like Wally West would be able to even begin to decipher what all of this truly means, how all of this plays a part intertwined together. And now that Barry is out of his trance, his slumber, if you will, I'm excited to see how he is going to be playing a part in all of this as well. Because Barry hasn't got the spotlight in quite a while, and I'm not gonna lie, I miss seeing Barry Allen around. I want to see a little bit more of him. Even if he goes back to mapping the multiverse, I want to see him doing that. One thing is for certain, speedsters are being hunted across time and space. and it will be up to Barry and Wally to save everybody. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything going on with The Flash, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with the Flash series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel in tremendous ways, you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.